6 alien guards failed to move the crate. A human intern lifted it effortlessly. The cargo terminal of Aurora Hub was a mess. Red lights flashed. Departure boards showed only one word: delayed. Cargo sat in uneven stacks. Loading machines hung still in midair, frozen in error mode. Outside, ships waited in a long line. Angry captains filled the comm channels, shouting for updates and refunds. Every lost minute meant lost credits. And in the middle of it all sat one crate. It was a dull black box, a little under waist high, wedged in the main doorway of Cargo Bay 3. Every route in or out passed through that opening. Now nothing could move. Commander Ralvek of the Threx stood in front of the crate, arms crossed over his broad chest. His 4 eyes watched his guards. His mandibles clicked in a sharp, angry rhythm. The Threx came from a heavy world. Thick plates, dense bones, strong muscles. Ralvek had seen his warriors lift damaged shuttles and drag artillery across battlefields. Now 6 of those same warriors could not move one box. Again, he said. Sergeant Vorna pressed her shoulder against the metal and pushed. Her claws dug into the floor. Heat shimmered around her armor as she strained. The crate did not move. Grek, the largest, slipped his claws under the lower edge and heaved. 2 others grabbed the opposite side. Plates creaked. Vents blew hot air. Every muscle stood out with effort. The crate stayed where it was, as if it had grown out of the deck. Vorna stepped back, chest heaving. Grek's crest dimmed. No one met Ralvek's eyes. The bay doors hissed open. Station Director Lorana marched in, her light feet hitting the deck in quick, angry beats. Her 4 thin arms moved as she spoke, cutting the air. The feelers on her head glowed bright red with stress. A datapad shook in her lower hands. "Commander," she snapped, "we have 8 ships waiting outside. Medical cargo, food, diplomatic containers. Penalties are already stacking. The Trade Council wants to know if we are asleep." "I see the cues," Ralvek said. His voice stayed level, but his mandibles clicked faster. "Our main loader failed while carrying this crate. It slid and jammed in the doorway. We cannot reach it with tools or machines. A spare loader will arrive in 1 cycle." "We have 1 hour," Lorana said coldly. "If this bay stays closed, we lose priority status." Ralvek glanced at the floor around the crate. Scratch marks showed where claws and hooks had already failed. "The crate's mass is extreme," he said. "Sensors show unusual density. If we push harder, the deck may crack." Before Lorana could answer, the doors hissed again. A human walked in, still eating. Maya Ortiz stepped through with a half-finished wrap in one hand and a worn satchel over her shoulder. Her dark hair was tied in a loose knot that was already falling apart. Her station jumpsuit was wrinkled from long hours. She stopped just inside the bay and stared. 6 exhausted Threx. 1 furious director. 1 silent crate in the middle of the chaos. She swallowed. Hi," she said. "Good mid-cycle? I'm still learning station time." She lifted her free hand in a small wave. "So, is this a drill or a real disaster?" Everyone turned to look at her. "You are late," Lorana said at once. "Your shift began half a cycle ago." Maya checked her wristband and winced. "Yeah, that's fair. I got lost near the gardens again." She tried a weak smile. "What happened? Fire? Hull breach? Angry pirates?" "A box," Ralvek said. Maya blinked. "You're all fighting a box." Ralvek pointed at the crate. "That cargo jammed the doorway when the loader failed. My guards cannot move it. We cannot bring another machine close enough to lift it. The entire bay is blocked." Maya walked closer, curiosity stronger than her shame. She circled the crate, tapping the side with her knuckles. The metal sounded thick and very solid. "What's in it?" she asked. "Classified research cargo," Ralvek said. "The manifest calls it experimental biomass. It must go to the secure vault in Sector K9. Maya crouched and peered at the narrow gap under the crate. Her fingers slid along the base. She frowned. "You tried lifting from underneath?" she asked. "Not just pushing from the sides." "My guards are trained in cargo handling," Ralvek said. "We have tried everything that makes sense. The crate's friction and mass make it effectively immovable." Maya stood and wiped her hands on her jumpsuit. "Friction isn't the real problem," she said. "Look, it's barely touching the floor. It's just really, really heavy." Lorana pointed at the holoscreen with the waiting ships. "Then why can 6 Threx warriors not move it?" she demanded. Maya did not answer her. She looked at Ralvek instead. Sector K9, she said. That's the corridor with the blue stripe on the walls, right? Yes, he said slowly. Why? I can take it there, Maya said. The bay went completely still. Even the low hum of the machines seemed to quiet. Ralvek stared at her. Human Maya, he said carefully. That crate's measured mass is 8,000 kilograms. Maya shrugged. So it's not light, she said. But your gravity is really soft. Feels like gym day back home. She set her food on top of the crate. Before anyone could move, she bent, wrapped one hand around a recessed handle, and lifted. The crate rose off the floor. Maya straightened, bringing the box up with her. It hung at her side from one relaxed arm, swinging a little. Her face stayed calm. Her breathing stayed normal. 6 elite Threx warriors stared, frozen, as the impossible weight that had defeated them dangled from a human intern's fingers like a heavy shopping bag. Maya looked back at Ralvek. So, she said, as if nothing was strange at all, blue stripe corridor. Do I turn left or right at the junction? The bay wasn't silent. It was paralyzed. 6 Threx warriors stood frozen, staring at the human holding the impossible weight with one hand. No one breathed. No one blinked. Even the automated lights seemed unsure whether to stay bright or dim in confusion. Maya shifted her grip slightly. Okay, she said. Someone point me to Sector K9 before my lunch falls off. Her half-finished wrap still sat on top of the crate, perfectly balanced. Commander Ralvek finally found his voice. It came out lower than normal. Human Maya, he said, put the crate down. Sure, she said casually. She lowered it. Gently, softly, as if she was placing a sleeping cat on a cushion. But the moment the crate touched the floor, the deck screamed. A deep metallic groan tore through the bay. Hairline cracks shot out from under the crate like lightning. The deck plating sank almost half a centimeter. Whoa, Maya jumped back. That wasn't me. That was the floor misbehaving. The floor, Vorna whispered, is military-grade Durasteel. Lorana grabbed the nearest railing to steady herself. That crate, how heavy is it? Before anyone could answer, a sharp alarm burst from the ceiling. Wee. Red lines raced across the walls. Warning lights flashed in tight, panicked pulses. Iris, the station's AI, spoke with a calmness that made everything worse. Alert. Unauthorized kinetic shift detected in Cargo Bay 3. Biometric lock triggered on container Delta 77. Warning. Internal mass movement registered. Ralvek stiffened. That container wasn't supposed to shift. At all. Celis from Xenobiology rushed in with a scanner. What happened? Maya lifted it, Vorna said numbly. Celis blinked. Lifted? With what equipment? Her hand, Grek whispered. Celis's scanner beeped wildly as she pointed it at the crate. Numbers spiked into dangerous ranges. That box contains experimental biomass, she said slowly. The more the cargo inside moves, the more unstable the container becomes. Ralvek looked sharply at her. Unstable how? Unstable as in, Celis swallowed. Alive. Lorana's face drained of color. Alive? You told me this was inert research material. I told you what the manifest said, Celis snapped. If it's moving inside the crate, it is not inert. The crate suddenly made a sound. Thump. A low, heavy heartbeat that vibrated in everyone's ribs. Everyone except Maya, who tilted her head. Is this something knocking? The crate answered her. Thump. Thump. The markings along its sides flickered in patterns like pulsing veins. A faint glowing line traveled across the seams, stopping where the locks sat. Vorna took 2 steps back. Grek's crest folded flat. Lorana whispered something in her native language that sounded like a long prayer. Iris spoke again. Warning. Containment stress rising. Hazard class elevating from level 3 to level 7. Recommend immediate evacuation. Maya blinked. Hang on. It didn't sound angry. More like scared. Ralvek spun toward her. Humans can hear emotions? Not exactly, Maya said. Just, I don't know. It doesn't feel dangerous. You lifted an 8,000-kilogram crate, Vorna said, voice shaky. Forgive us if we do not trust your threat instincts. Before Maya could respond, the locks on the crate clicked. Once. Twice. 3 times. Commander, Celis whispered. It's opening. Weapons came out instantly. Plasma rifles hummed. The air filled with a cold, sharp tension. Back away, Ralvek ordered. His 4 eyes locked onto the glowing seams. Maya didn't move. She stared at the crate with a strange calmness. Something inside is panicking, she said softly. Maybe it woke up wrong. Maya, get behind the barricade, Celis began. But it was too late. The crate's final lock slid open. A harsh white mist burst outward, flooding the bay like a cold storm. Shapes shifted behind the fog. A silhouette moved. Low, sharp, alive. Every guard raised their weapon. Maya exhaled slowly. Okay, she murmured. Whatever is inside, let's hope you're friendly. The fog swirled. A pair of glowing, crystalline eyes blinked into view. Then something stepped out. Something that should not have existed outside a myth. And it was staring straight at Maya. The mist rolled across the deck like cold fog from a broken freezer. Every breath turned into a white puff. Every metallic surface sparkled with tiny frost crystals forming fast. And then it stepped out. Not large. Not towering. Not the nightmare creature the alarms warned about. No, it was small. Almost delicate. The creature padded forward on 4 shimmering limbs. Its body was covered in overlapping plates that looked like broken pieces of stars, crystal fragments glowing with soft inner light. Each plate caught the bay lights and scattered them into bright rainbow sparks. It wasn't taller than Maya's knee, but its mouth. Its mouth held rings of long, clear fangs, each sharp enough to carve metal like clay. Its eyes glowed in shades of icy blue. Its sensory spines unfurled like thin glass branches, waving through the air as if tasting every sound. Cold rolled off it in waves. Vorno whispered, Voidling. Her voice cracked. A young one. Grek shook his head violently. A young void serpent is worse than an adult. They are unstable, hungry, confused. They eat anything they don't recognize. Ralvek lifted his weapon. All units. No sudden moves, Celis hissed. If it panics, we die in seconds. The little void serpent sniffed the air. Its crystalline claws scratched softly against the metal floor, leaving faint grooves. Frost spread under its feet. Its head turned, then stopped on Maya. The glow in its eyes brightened. The spines behind its skull lifted like alert antennae. Maya, Celis whispered urgently, step back slowly. Don't draw attention. But Maya didn't step back. She didn't move at all. She just watched. Calmly. Curiously. Like she was looking at a stray puppy that wandered into her backyard. The cub took one step closer. Then another. Its breath came out in deep clouds of freezing vapor. The guard's weapons hummed louder. Charging. Fire on my mark, Ralvek said quietly. No. Celis grabbed his arm. If you startle it. Maya raised her hand. Not to the guards. To the creature. Her voice softened, barely above a whisper. Hey there. You're scared, aren't you? The void serpent froze. Its glowing eyes widened. Its spines trembled. A small sound escaped its throat. Not a roar. Not a growl. But a soft, sharp chirp, like a broken bell. Everyone stared. Celis gasped. Did it just cry? Maya slowly lowered herself into a crouch. She kept her palm open, her fingers relaxed. It's okay, she said. Nobody here wants to hurt you. Maya, step away, Ralvek ordered. But she didn't. Her voice stayed soft and steady. You woke up in a box. That's scary. And now everyone's pointing weapons at you. Of course you're frightened. The cub tilted its head. It sniffed again. This time louder. Longer. Its breath brushed over Maya's hand in a freezing wave that made frost bloom on the ground. Maya didn't pull back. Instead, she smiled. You're beautiful, she whispered. And freezing. Another chirp. This one almost confused. Like it couldn't understand why this creature, this tiny, soft human, wasn't screaming or running. Slowly, very slowly, the void serpent reached forward and touched its forehead to Maya's open palm. The bay exploded with noise, gasps, shouts, alarms, but Maya didn't react. She simply let her fingers brush the cold plates behind its eyes. A pulse of light rippled across its body. Its plates loosened. Its glowing eyes softened into gentle violet. The icy breath warmed slightly. It leaned into her touch. Maya, Celis breathed. You're imprinting on it. What does that mean? Maya asked without looking away. It means, Celis whispered, that a Class 9 predator sees you as safe. The cub made a sound. A rolling, deep vibration. A rumbling noise so strong the floor hummed with it. It's purring, Maya said with awe. No, Grek shouted. Void serpents do not purr. That is a territorial claim. The cub crawled closer, nudging Maya's hand with its head. Then it shoved its whole body against her, as if demanding more contact. Maya laughed softly. "Oh, you just want a hug." It chirped again, louder, happier, and curled its tail around her ankle. Behind her, Celis's scanner beeped like it was panicking. Ralvek stared in total disbelief. "Humans," he muttered, "are not normal." Then the station AI spoke again, voice strained. "Update, biomass bonding confirmed. Void Serpent Juvenile has imprinted on human Maya Ortiz. Warning, any attempt to remove human from creature may result in catastrophic hostility." Maya looked up slowly. What does catastrophic mean in this context?" Greg replied in a dead-flat voice. "It means..." He swallowed hard. "You are the only thing stopping it from killing all of us." The cub nudged Maya's cheek with its icy nose. She giggled. Everyone else nearly fainted. The little void serpent stayed pressed against Maya's side, its crystal plates glowing softly like dim stars under her hand. Every time she stopped petting it, even for a second, it made a tiny, impatient chirp until she touched it again. Everyone watched in frozen horror. Celis lifted her scanner again, hands shaking as she pointed it at the cub. Readings exploded across her screen, hundreds of numbers climbing too fast to process. "Oh no," she whispered. "Oh no, no, no." "What now?" Ralvek asked. "This creature," Celis said, pointing the scanner at the cub, "is generating enough cold to freeze a shuttle engine." "And Maya is touching it," Vorna added faintly. Maya blinked, confused. "It's just chilly, like holding a bag of frozen peas." Celis nearly dropped her device. "A bag of what?" "Vegetables," Maya explained. "You freeze them for later?" Celis stared at her like she'd recited dark magic. "We freeze weapons, tools, scientific samples, not food." Maya shrugged. "Different habits, I guess." The void serpent chirped again and shoved its icy head into her shoulder. Maya gently scratched behind one of its spines, and the creature purred louder, so loud that frost drifted down from the ceiling. But something strange happened next. The air around Maya began to ripple, not visibly at first, not clearly, just a faint distortion, like heat above desert sand. But the bay was freezing, not hot. Celis's scanner beeped harder. The lights overhead flickered. Iris spoke again. "Alert. Gravitational anomaly detected. Source, human Maya Ortiz. Station integrity, compromised." Ralvek stiffened. "What anomaly?" Celis turned the scanner fully on Maya now. The display flooded with impossible readings, density spikes, energy signatures, gravitational fluctuations. "Maya," she said slowly, "stay very still." "I'm literally sitting," Maya replied. "Yes," Celis said, voice trembling. "And your mass just increased by 600%. Maya frowned. "I'm not gaining weight. I haven't even finished lunch." "This isn't about weight," Celis cried. "Your density is increasing. It's like your bones are reacting to the cold, adjusting their structure." Maya blinked. "My bones can do that." "And no," Celis said firmly. "Nothing's bones can do that." Vorna whispered. "Humans are not supposed to be this adaptable." But Maya didn't hear them. She was focused on the void serpent, who had started nibbling the sleeve of her jumpsuit. "Hey," she whispered, gently tapping its snout. "That's not food." The creature looked up at her with glowing violet eyes, then pressed its forehead into her palm like a child seeking comfort. Celis's voice dropped to a horrified whisper. "It trusts her. Completely." Ralvek took a step forward. "Human Maya, do you understand what you're doing?" "I'm comforting a scared baby," Maya said simply. "That," Ralvek said, "is not a baby. It is a predator capable of slicing through armored hulls." Maya shrugged lightly, then winced as her shoulder popped. "Ow. Okay, maybe I shouldn't shrug with a star creature on me." The cub chirped in alarm and climbed fully into her lap, curling its cold weight across her legs. Frost bloomed instantly across the floor. Maya laughed. "Okay, buddy, you're heavy, but we'll figure this out." She said it casually. Everyone else heard something completely different. A human promising to raise a living catastrophe. Greg muttered, "This is the end. This is how the station dies." With purring. But the real danger wasn't the cub. Not anymore. It was Maya. Celis finally found her voice. "Commander." Her scans don't match any human baseline. Her muscles are changing. Her bone density rising. Her cells are adapting at a rate I have never seen. Because of the cold? Ralvek asked. Because of everything, Celis said. Her body is reacting to stress like it's normal. Like it's built for this. Maya looked up, eyes wide. Wait, is this dangerous? Am I sick? No, Celis said slowly. Not sick. Just terrifying. Before Maya could answer, the bay lights cut out. Everything went dark. A second later, backup lights flickered on in low red. Iris spoke, voice tight. Emergency alert. Central Council has taken notice of anomaly. A high-priority intervention team is en route. ETA, 3 minutes. Ralvek felt his stomach drop. By the stars, he whispered. The Council thinks this is a threat. Maya blinked, confused. A threat? Me. Celis answered softly. They're not coming for the creature. Everyone stared at Maya. They're coming for you. And in Maya's lap, the void serpent cub lifted its head. Fangs bared, eyes glowing bright. Already deciding it would defend her. The red emergency lights pulsed like a slow heartbeat. Every flash painted the cargo bay in shadows and sharp outlines. The void serpent cub pressed closer to Maya, cold plates humming softly under her hands. Maya didn't move. She didn't even look afraid. Confused, yes. Concerned, definitely. But scared? Not even a little. Okay, Maya said softly, petting the cub's head. Why does everyone act like I'm about to explode? Celis hovered over her scanner again. Because the Council doesn't move this fast unless they think a crisis is unfolding. A crisis. Maya repeated. She pointed at herself. Me. Ralvek kept watching the doors with all 4 eyes. You lifted a crate that damaged our deck. You bonded with an apex predator. You are emitting gravitational waves. If the Council believes you're a danger. The lights above them flicked again. Iris spoke. Incoming diplomatic strike team. They request all non-human personnel maintain distance from the anomaly. Anomaly? Maya muttered. Why can't they just call me by my name? Greg finally snapped, voice frantic. Because you are doing things that break physics, Maya. The void serpent cub hissed sharply at him. Not a warning. A threat. Ice crept out from its claws. Maya placed a hand on its back. Hey, no hissing at people trying not to die, okay? The cub went quiet, but continued to glare at Greg. Then the bay doors in front of them split open. Not with a hiss this time. Not with a normal slide. They slammed open, as if the doors themselves were afraid to be in the way. A line of tall figures stepped inside. All wore glowing armor, marked with the seal of the Galactic Central Council. Their helmets shimmered with holographic shields. Their boots barely made a sound. At the center walked a tall being with smooth, silver skin and eyes like polished glass. High Envoy Senriel. Celis sucked in a breath. Why is he here? He doesn't leave Central Command unless a matter is universe-level serious. The envoy stopped 10 steps from Maya. Maya Ortiz, he said, voice calm but cutting. Human representative or anomaly? We have come to assess the situation. Maya blinked. I'm not a situation. I'm literally an intern. The envoy looked at the cracked floor, the frost, the frozen railings, the terrified soldiers. Then he looked at the void serpent curled protectively around her legs. A Class 9 predator has imprinted on you, he said. Why? Affection? Maya offered. She pointed at the cub. He was scared. I comforted him. The envoy stared. Then stared harder. Then looked at Celis. Is she joking? Celis shook her head violently. No, envoy. She genuinely believes she did nothing unusual. Senriel stepped closer. The void serpent cub growled. A deep, echoing rumble that made everyone tense. Maya, Ralvek warned. Do not let it attack a council envoy. I'm trying, Maya whispered. But he's very clingy. Senriel raised a hand, and the growl stopped. Not because the cub calmed, but because the air changed. A shimmering field surrounded him. The council's highest-level containment shield. Maya Ortiz, Senriel said quietly. We need you to stand. Maya looked down at the cub, who weighed as much as a motorcycle. I would, but my lap is occupied by a frosty space dragon. Senriel paused. A what? Maya shrugged. I'm still learning the proper alien names. Ralvek groaned into his hands. Senriel tried again. Human Maya, you must move away from the creature so we can take control of it. No, Maya said. Everyone stopped breathing. Senriel blinked. What? He's scared, Maya said, stroking the cub's head. If I leave him now, he'll panic. He might attack. None of us want that. The envoy looked at Ralvek for confirmation. Ralvek sighed. She is correct. Remove her, and the creature becomes hostile instantly. Senriel studied her carefully. His eyes glowed faintly, scanning her. You are not afraid. Should I be? Maya asked. The envoy considered that. After a long silence, he said a sentence no one expected. No, I believe we should be. The guards behind him shifted uncomfortably. Celes stepped forward. Envoy, the human is changing. Her biology is adapting to the creature's cold. Her density is rising. Her scans are beyond what humans should handle. Senriel clasped his hands behind his back. This confirms our fear. Fear? Maya asked. Of what? Not of the creature, Senriel said softly. Of you. Maya stared, stunned. What did I do? Senriel pointed at the cracked floor. Your strength risks structural collapse. He pointed at the cub. You tamed a being that destroys warships. He pointed at the flickering lights. You are bending gravity without knowing. Then he met her eyes. You, Maya Ortiz of Earth, represent a potential power that our council does not understand. And the galaxy fears what it does not understand. Maya swallowed hard. She didn't look angry. She didn't look scared. She looked sad. I didn't mean to cause trouble, she whispered. Senriel's voice softened for the first time. I believe you. He slowly lowered his hands. That is why we are not here to imprison you, he continued. We are here to protect you, and protect others from misunderstandings. The void serpent purred, loud enough to shake the deck. Senriel nodded toward Ralvek. Prepare a transport. We are taking Maya and the creature to the council chamber. Immediately, Celes gasped. The council wants to meet her now? Senriel replied. They believe she may be the key to re-evaluating Earth itself. Ralvek exhaled. This will shake the galaxy. Maya sighed softly and stroked the cub again. Can we at least stop for snacks on the way? Everyone stared at her. Maya shrugged. What? He's going to be hungry. The void serpent chirped in agreement. A sound that made even the armored council guards flinch. The transport drifted through Aurora Hub's upper corridors like a silent silver arrow. The windows glowed soft blue, reflecting Maya's face as she looked out. Nebula, the void serpent cub, lay curled across her lap, cold body humming with soft purrs. Every vibration made tiny crystals float in the air around them. Ralvek sat opposite her, armor stiff, eyes alert. Celes stood near the wall, gripping her scanner like it was holy scripture. Two council guards flanked the door, hands resting on their weapons, but clearly hoping they wouldn't need them. Maya glanced between all of them. You're all acting like I'm being taken to prison. You are not, Ralvek said. You are being taken to a discussion. Celes added quietly. A discussion that decides how the entire galaxy treats humans from now on. Great, Maya muttered. No pressure. Nebula chirped and nuzzled her elbow, sending a burst of cold across her arm. She scratched under his chin, and he melted into her lap like a kitten made of snow and stars. Ralvek stared. It still amazes me that you are not frozen solid. I told you, Maya said. Earth gets cold sometimes. Cold, Celes repeated. Not near absolute zero temperatures. Maya shrugged. Maybe my coat is just really thick. Celes nearly fainted. The transport slowed. Blue lights washed across the interior. Iris' calm voice filled the cabin. Arrival, Galactic Council Grand Chamber. Warning, all biological readings are being monitored. Additional warning, do not let the void serpent roam without supervision. Nebula lifted his head at his name and hissed proudly. The door slid open. Maya stepped out. Nebula wrapped around her shoulders like a living scarf and froze at the sight before her. A circular chamber stretched wider than a stadium. Terraced platforms rose in rings. Holographic figures from dozens of species hovered at each seat. Leaders, generals, scientists, diplomats, each watching her with glowing eyes. Whispers filled the hall. Is that the human? She's so small. She carries the serpent like a pet. That creature should be raging. Her readings are unstable. Look at the gravity fluctuations. Maya's cheeks flushed. Maya. From Earth. Hi. Her voice echoed across the room like a pebble tossed into a quiet lake. One hologram spoke first, a tall being with shimmering wings and a deep, resonant voice. Human Maya, you were brought before us because your presence has created two emergencies. The awakening of a void serpent juvenile, and the revelation that Earth is not what we believed it to be. Maya held Nebula tighter. He purred loudly, vibrating her chest. Celis stepped forward and projected a hologram in the air. It showed Earth, not the postcard version, not the calm one used in tourist brochures. This one showed storms bigger than continents, lightning webs glowing like giant scars, oceans rising in walls of water, volcanoes filling the sky with fire, humans rebuilding again and again. Gasps filled the chamber. A scaled diplomat hissed, "How does life survive that?" Celis answered, voice trembling. "They do not survive. They adapt. Constantly. Every part of human biology is shaped by disaster." Another hologram appeared, this time showing Maya lifting the 8,000-kilogram crate, alone, with one hand. Several counselors recoiled. Counselor Varen, a mechanical being of whirring gears, spoke sharply. "Human, explain how you achieved this." "That," Maya said. "I just picked it up." "You picked up a crate heavy enough to crush a tank." "I didn't know it was heavy. Your gravity feels soft." Whispers turned into frantic murmurs. Nebula made an annoyed chirp at the noise and climbed higher on Maya's shoulder, eyes glowing defensively. The temperature around her dropped instantly. The entire chamber flinched. Maya stroked him gently. "Hush. We're okay. No need to freeze anyone." A counselor pointed in panic. "It responds to her voice." "That's impossible." High Envoy Sinriel stepped forward. "That," he said, "is exactly the problem. The Void Serpent has imprinted on her. Her biology is shifting in real time. She is adapting to it as easily as she adapted to the crate." He turned to the chamber. "Humanity is not weak. Humanity is not gentle. Humanity is not normal." He gestured at Maya. "They are Deathworlders. We simply didn't see it." Maya raised a hand weakly. Excuse me, but we're not dangerous." "Not on purpose." Varen's gears clicked anxiously. "Not on purpose is still dangerous." "We don't want to fight anyone," Maya said. "We just want to explore space. Meet people. Share food. Learn cool alien stuff. That's it." The chamber went silent. Slow, loud, heavy steps echoed from the center platform as the oldest counselor rose. A massive creature made of living stone. With a voice like falling mountains, he spoke. "Human Maya," he said, "your species may reshape the balance of this galaxy. We must decide whether to fear your kind or welcome you." Maya swallowed. Nebula pressed against her neck, eyes glowing with trust. She finally spoke. "Then at least let me show you what we really are. Not monsters. Not weapons. Not disasters. Just people." The chamber fell silent. Sinriel nodded slowly. "Then the next decision," he said, "will change everything." Lights dimmed. Every hologram brightened. Billions of eyes across the galaxy watched Maya and the cub, and the council prepared to decide the future of humanity. The chamber lights dimmed until only a soft white circle shone around Maya and the Void Serpent cub. Hundreds of council holograms flickered like floating constellations above her. Nebula sensed the tension. He curled tighter around Maya's shoulders, his crystal plates glowing brighter, protective, alert. A faint frost spread under Maya's boots, but she stayed still. High Envoy Sinriel lifted his hand. "All council representatives," he announced, "prepare your vote. This concerns Earth's classification, its safety, and its place in our galaxy." Whispers swept the chamber. Fear, doubt, confusion, hope. Maya's heart pounded. She wasn't trained for this. She wasn't a diplomat. She was a girl who organized storage shelves and wrote inventory reports. But now, the entire galaxy was listening to her. She took a deep breath. "I know you're scared," she said, her voice softly echoing. "I understand that. I'm scared too." Nebula nuzzled her cheek. A glow shimmered across his spine, almost calming. Maya continued. "Humans aren't perfect. We make mistakes. We get angry. We push too hard sometimes. But we also care. We protect. We build. We survive things that should break us." She looked up at the rows of alien leaders. "Earth looks dangerous to you. But to us, it's home. And people who grow up in a hard place learn how to help others trying to survive too." The chamber quieted. Some counselors leaned forward. "We don't want to conquer anyone," she said. "We're not here to replace anyone. We just want to join the galaxy. Learn. Share. Be part of something bigger." Her voice softened. "And trust me, humans will protect anyone they call a friend." Nebula chirped, a bright, ringing sound that filled the entire chamber. The oldest counselor, the stone-bodied giant, stepped forward. "Human Maya," he said slowly, Your actions prove that your people are more than a threat. They are a possibility. Maya blinked. A possibility? Yes, he said. A species strong enough to reshape the galaxy, or strong enough to save it. He raised both heavy arms. The council will now vote. Silence fell like a curtain. Holograms lit up one by one. Green symbols for welcome. Red symbols for restrict. Blue symbols for quarantine. The first few flickered green. Then more. And more. And more. One red. Two red. A cluster of green. Dozens. Hundreds. Until the great chamber glowed mostly emerald. Senriel turned toward Maya. The vote is complete, he said. His voice softened for the first time. Earth is accepted as a full member of the galactic community. Maya exhaled a breath she didn't know she had been holding. Nebula chirped happily and wrapped his tail around her neck like a scarf of living ice. But the envoy wasn't finished. And you, Maya Ortiz, he continued, are appointed as the first official human liaison. You will represent your species. You will help us understand humans. And help us prepare for the next arrivals from your world. Ralvek made a strangled sound. Yes, the other humans. The strong ones, he whispered. A ripple of fear shivered through the chamber. Maya coughed lightly. Oh yeah? So, Evan and Ray, they're super nice. Just energetic. Energetic. Everyone understood that word as catastrophic. Senriel cleared his throat. We will make adjustments. Celis tried not to faint, but Maya smiled warmly. I'll help them. I promise. The envoy nodded. And the creature? Maya stroked Nebula's crystal cheek. He purred like 100 softly humming engines. He stays with me, she said simply. He's my responsibility now. Senriel hesitated, then bowed his head. Then so it shall be. The chamber erupted in light. Counselors spoke rapidly. Announcements flashed. New policies formed instantly. A new era unfolding, right in front of a human intern. Maya rubbed Nebula's head and whispered, Well, buddy, I guess we're diplomats now. The cub chirped proudly, as if claiming half the galaxy in agreement. Ralvek approached, shoulders finally relaxed. You handled this well, he said. Stronger spirits than mine would crumble. Maya shrugged. We humans handle storms every day. Storms? He asked. Maya smirked. Wait until you see a hurricane. Ralvek's eyes widened. Please, never show us that. She laughed. Nebula purred louder. And somewhere across the stars, the message spread to 1,000 worlds. Earth was not a garden. Earth was not weak. Earth was a death world. And its people had finally stepped into the galaxy. The galaxy would never be the same again.